choices, consequences, and rewards. Because every choice has a consequence. Today, that's what we're going to talk about, and about how creating a self-imposed consequence can keep you from living a life full of excuses. I know you'll love today's show.
Cowboy.
Welcome to a daily dose of greatness class with your host, Trevor Crane, my daddy. He is going to help you take your life and business to the next level.
Here I come to save the day.
Trevor Crane here, 11-time #1 best-selling author and the founder of Epic Author Publishing, coming to you live every day so you can plug in every day to build your ideal business so you can live your ideal life.
If my daddy can do it, then anybody can do it because he's a weirdo.
You're supposed to make me sound cool.
All right, guys, welcome back. Again, every choice has a consequence. I found this out. Oh, what am I talking about? I found this out many times. I found this out when I filed my bankruptcy in 2009. I'll tell you that story in just a little bit. But I recently found this out. I had to experience this in my own life. So I had surgery done on my knee just recently. Actually, now it's 4 months ago. And when I got out of surgery, they sent me to, very shortly thereafter, to physical therapy. And I was supposed to get physical therapy done on my knee and then also on my shoulder. And I went to the physical therapist, and I said, look, just give me the exercises, and I'll do them. Just tell me what I need to do, and I'll do them. I don't need to be here every day. So I went out, and I said I would go do these exercises. And so I was supposed to do a series of things, and for the first week, I didn't do them. Second week, I didn't do them. First month, I didn't do them. Month 2, I wasn't doing them. I was doing very, very little. I did maybe 2 or 3 exercises in that time frame. I decided to go back. I decided to go back to the physical therapist, talk to her again about these basic exercises. And in order to get them done, she gave me, again, these simple basic exercises. But instead of just saying, okay, I'll do them this time, and instead of going back to her every single day, what I did is I created a self-imposed consequence, which I would impose on myself, and in this case, it was a financial one. I said, look, it's great that I need to do this shoulder exercise every single day, and that I need to do this knee exercise 3 times a week, but if I don't have a self-imposed consequence here, I'm screwed, and she didn't really want to put this to me. I did it to myself, and I gave a financial one. I said, for every day that I don't do my exercise, I'll pay you $100. Because I don't know about you, but I have found that myself, and actually most people are more inspired and motivated to take action when there is a consequence to something versus the reward. Now, I'm a positive guy. I used to think that I was more motivated by the cool stuff that I wanted or the results that I wanted to have, but that's actually not what fires me up and gets me to take action, embarrassingly enough. But I'm not the only one. Most people are the same way. And so what I like to do is create both a positive consequence or a positive reward. In this case, I wanted to go to Creamery. So I decided that I'll get a reward. I gave myself the job for 2 weeks. I had to do this exercise every single day for my shoulder and 3 times a week for my knee. And if I failed either one, I owed her $100 each per day. And then my big reward would be, she also offered to give me a massage as a reward. She threw that in. And so I got to tell you, though, what kept me up late at night or got me up early in the morning and got me to do these exercises every single day, which totally sucked, by the way. This took a lot of time and was difficult for me to do. And actually, my shoulder started to hurt, and I was in pain, and I didn't want to do more squats, and I didn't want to do more lunges. I did it because I didn't want to pay the price. And see, with all of our choices, obviously, there's consequences. When my baby was born, my first daughter was born in 2007, I thought I was the luckiest dude in the world. My business was doing really, really well. I was making millions of dollars at the time, which I thought was totally cool. Thought I was pretty hot shit, and I had this baby, which was the coolest thing ever, right? She was born into my hands. In my backyard, we did a hippie water birth where the baby was born into my hands in the backyard. I thought I was the man. Within 2 years of me thinking I was the man, I'd lost everything. The woman I was in love with left me, took my daughter. I lost all my stuff, so that included money and investments and houses and cars and things and all the cool stuff I thought that I needed. And I found myself, you're reaping the rewards of consequences, of a life-imposed consequence, like when you do stupid shit. And so I learned that you need to have some accountability. So here is the quote of the day, is that by creating a self-imposed consequence, it can keep you from living a life full of excuses, because you can have two things in this world. You can have either results or you can have excuses. And I don't know what you would like to have, but I know myself, I'd like to just live a life full of results, the fucking awesome results that I want in my life, versus all the bullshit excuses or my reasons why I don't have what it is that I want. And if you're finding yourself in a position in any area of your life, let's say it's personal or professional, first, that's the question for you. To the question of the day is, what area of your life are you currently disappointed in your own results? I don't know what that might be. Is it personal, professional? Is it business? I'm in the middle of a program with Garrett J. White, awesome guy, and he's got a warrior movement called Wake Up Warrior, and he talks about the 4 areas of life: your body, being, balance, and business. And I think that those are really key core categories for us as humans. If you don't have your health, you're kind of screwed. If you don't have your connection with source and energy and power and spirituality, or whatever that is for you, that's your being. And balance has to do with your friendships and relationships and your passionate relationship with your spouse or whoever that may be. If you don't have that, if you don't have your business or finances in order, if you don't have those things, you're kind of screwed. So my question to you is, what area of your life are you dissatisfied in currently, where you want to go ahead and create some new results? Or maybe you're actually happy in a lot of areas of your life and you're like, that's not it. Where's the big goal in your life where you need a big win and where you could deploy this strategy? So just last week, I did this with my team, because for a couple of weeks in a row, and for me, a couple of months in a row, I was setting some goals for myself that I wasn't achieving. And it's because I forgot to use the simple strategy. So I want to give you the strategy today in a 1, 2, 3 and give you a challenge. Okay, so the challenge today is to pick that area in your life that you want to get some more phenomenal results in, and to go ahead and get crystal clear. This is step number 1, is to get crystal clear about what it is that you want. Get crystal clear. See, when I, at the end, in 2009, when I had lost everything and filed the bankruptcy, it just coincided that I met my wife for the first time. And we met and started to flirt with each other, and I had a choice to make. Because today's about choices, consequences, and rewards. See, on that day, I could have blown some smoke up her ass and told her how awesome my life was and how awesome I was, but that's not the reality. I chose that day, or within a day or two, I chose to come clean. I chose to tell her all of my bullshit and baggage. Maybe not the most phenomenal, sexy seduction strategy, but I did. I told her about all my baggage. I told her about my 2-year-old daughter. I told her about my bankruptcy, pending bankruptcy at the time. I told her about my 2-year-old, the baggage that I brought along. And I said that this was not the most apropos time or best time for me to have met her. And instead of bailing on me, which I felt like when I lost all my finances, so the woman I was before had bailed on me. I don't know if that's exactly accurate, but that was the story I was telling myself at the time. I got the reward of her actually seeing me and caring about me. And then when we started our relationship, I knew she wasn't coming after me for my money. I remember telling a friend of mine I was going, and I filed my bankruptcy in the state of Florida in 2009, and I told him, you know what the greatest thing is about being bankrupt, filing a bankruptcy, and he laughed his ass off. He's like, I don't think I've ever heard anybody actually say that there's good things that came from the bankruptcy, but it was that my wife wasn't after me for the money, or the woman I was with. And he said, maybe you shouldn't date broke people, and I actually wasn't at the time. So let's check it out. So, okay, then in 2010, I was rebuilding my career, whatever that was going to look like. I had build over from scratch. And in 2010, I wanted to ask my wife to marry me. And I had to figure, in order to do that, I don't know if you know this, but you're supposed to give a ring. And so I didn't have the finances for a ring, so I had to make some choices. I had to have some accountability. I had to get really clear that what I wanted, and I wanted this woman. I wanted her to be in my life, and I needed to figure out how I was going to raise. The ring I was targeting was about a $10,000 ring. I think that's pretty much what I paid for it. I don't know exactly. She probably remembers exactly, but let's say it's a $10,000 ring. And I had to get crystal clear about what it is I wanted and by when I was going to have it, or at least a deposit for it. And I had to get crystal clear. And I knew the reward, since she thought this was a cool thing for us to get together, and I might be spending more time with her. But I also knew the consequence of not getting it done. So here's the thing, is what is it that you want? Be very specific. And then what's your reward when you get it? And I'm not talking just about the intrinsic reward that you get when you go to the gym and you work out, and now you look sexy and huge like the Arnold Schwarzenegger, who's the Rock, yeah, that'll be the benefit. I get it. But what's a different benefit? A reward that you can get when you achieve the goal, the discipline, whatever it is. And then what's your consequence if you don't do it? And then what I would also challenge you to do is take that consequence out of your hands, if at all possible, or to at least be accountable to somebody or some group of people that can hold you accountable to this by a certain time. Because here's the thing, if you don't add in the accountability factor, you're also screwed. If you're just only accountable to the person looking back at you in the mirror, I'd like to think that I can be only accountable to that guy and get my shit done every day. But I don't have that self-discipline. I want to. I hope to one day be the guy that can just do that, and in certain areas of my life I can. But if it's a shit I really don't want to do or really scares me or the next big goal or do something that I really don't want to do, I got to be accountable to a who, what, and a when. So make sure you add this to your formula. Who are you going to be accountable to? What is going to be the consequence? And by when are you going to have this accountability meeting? Is it next week? Is it Monday at noon? Whatever it is. And just this last weekend, I was able to do this. I didn't get my accomplishment met. I didn't actually finish my goal until just hours before the deadline. And again, I like to say that I do my homework way ahead of time, and I always get done really ahead. That's not the truth. When you set a deadline, what does Steve Jobs used to call it, a shipping date? Now Seth Godin talks about it all the time, that we need to set a shipping date. If you make a decision that something's going to happen by a certain time, you ship. You ship the bare minimum viable product, I think is what Steve Jobs used to talk about. And in this context, you need a who, a what, and a when. And now all my big challenge to you is just go do it. Today, get specific about a goal. What is it that you want? What's your reward? How are you going to reward yourself when you get it? Because you do need a reward. You need the carrot and the stick that fires you up so that you bust ass and get it to happen. And then who, what, and when. Who are you going to be accountable to? What's that consequence going to be so that they can hold your feet to the fire, and then by when are you going to get it done? That's all I got for today. Hope you have an amazing day. And if you haven't done so already, make sure that you like us on iTunes. Give us a review if you haven't done that. And then please share this with someone who you think would appreciate a daily dose of greatness quest. I can't wait to talk to you tomorrow.
To get even more awesomeness, which means all my best stuff, download my app by texting Trevor to 36260. It will show up right on your cell phone. Just text message the word Trevor to 36260. Talk to you soon.